And the question is this: what are you searching for? What are you searching for in a church? You know, I've met a lot of searchers. They can never come to the conclusion on anything. They never enter into a relationship with God. They never get baptized. They like my program, but they're just searchers, and they search until the day they kick the bucket. Never find anything. But here's the point. You know, if you want a church where they teach God requires nothing from you, okay, if you want a church where they teach God requires nothing from you, they're on every street corner. They're on every street corner. They're called churches. If you want a church that makes you feel good about yourself and the life that you are now living, that never criticizes or condemns anything about you, no matter what you're doing, they're on every street corner. If you want a church that teaches the prosperity doctrine, where it's just God is a blessing machine. He wants you to have that 3-car garage. He wants you to have that mansion. He wants you to have all these material possessions. That's what you see. Here's the thing. Whatever you want from a church is the church you will find. And that makes sense, does it not? Whatever you want. I want a prosperity church. That's the church you will find. I want a church where they teach nothing, they never criticize anything about my life. That's the church you will find. I want a church that doesn't pay any attention to the law of God, never teaches the law of God. That's the church you will find. If you want a church where everything is smoke and mirrors, candle wax, people are fascinated with candle wax. They really are. If you want a church where the priest speaks Latin, no one there can understand a word he says, that's the church you will find. If you want a church where everything is smoke and mirrors and rituals, it's all just so much rituals that we don't really understand that well. Reminds me of the story about the woman that was begging her husband to go to a Catholic Mass, and he didn't want to go. And finally she talked him into it, and he goes there begrudgingly. He didn't want to go, but he goes, and she says, honey, you just do everything I do. You just watch me and do everything try to do everything I do. So they got in the church and say, now honey, it's time to kneel down. And he sort of gets out of the pew and kneels on the ground awkwardly. Now honey, it's time to get back up. Now honey, it's time to kneel down again. Now honey, it's time to genuflect, cross yourself, do all that stuff, And he tried to do it awkwardly and messed it all up. And now honey, it's time to get back down and kneel on the ground. And now honey, it's time to stand back up. And she looked at him and she says, honey, is your fly unzipped? And he said, why? Should it be? This reveals the rituals that we go through, and we don't even know why. This guy got so confused, he thought his fly was supposed to be unzipped. Yeah, but people are amazed with smoke and mirrors, candle wax, priests that no one can understand, and rituals. Yeah, they love it. Why do they love it? Well, because they can't really know anything about God. As far as what God requires. It's not about what God requires. They don't want to know that. And so it's all smoke and mirrors and candle wax, you see. Now, if you want a church where it's exciting, they're jumping church pews, they're speaking in tongues, they're speaking in a gibberish that no one can understand, that's the church that you will get. Whatever you want in a church is the church you will find, okay? Let me tell you the one reason you never go to church. Actually, 3 reasons. Truth, correction, and instruction. That's 3 reasons you probably never, ever go to church.